Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. Playing in the hardcore Legacy League. It's a solo self-found Deadeye, and we're still using Ice Shot and a variety of other thingamajigs. We're on the way to Creighton because, well, Creighton is going to die. In the previous video, the Path of Spreadsheets, I did the numbers, and it's effectively doesn't really matter in terms of DPS whether we pick Creighton or a Lyra. It's just that the consistency of hitting critical strikes is going to be slightly higher when we choose a Lyra. So that's what we're going to do. After the video, got a really nice comment from Mathieu to remind me that Diamond Flask is a thing. Diamond Flask special effect is that critical strike chance is lucky. So you roll a crit. If you don't get a crit, you can roll your crit again to see if you can actually hit it. So effectively, you cut your chance to not crit in half. That's effectively what it does. For a while, I've been using the Onslaught Flask, the Silver Flask, and that has a nice effect on increasing DPS. So it increases your attack speed, it increases your movement speed a little bit, and I originally slotted Onslaught in as a replacement for Quicksilver. But no, it's a bit like a Quicksilver, but it also has some attack bonuses, while Quicksilver only gives you a movement speed bonus. But well, considering this, the Diamond Flask is pretty darn potent. Because if you cut your chance to not crit in half, especially at the lower crit chances, like where I am right now, it's just gonna make it easier for you to crit. But also, if you're gonna charge up your power charges, it's gonna make it easier to actually build up those power charges. Like for example, currently, it's been a while since I actively used the shrapnel shot, which has power charge on crits associated with it or attached to it. And it's pretty surprisingly easy now to maintain 3 charges if there's actually things nearby. So if we're gonna go up against the boss, building up power charges and then unleashing the full fury of ice shots with devastating crits sounds like a useful one. Especially because with Diamond Flask, we just make it even easier to actually hit those crits. And therefore, the more often we crit, the larger the chances that we will be freeze locking the boss. That's eventually the entire goal of the build, is to see how often we can keep bosses frozen and most especially freeze locked. The only downside of the current setup is that now I have my left mouse with Frenzy to build up Frenzy charges. Then we got the first attack here with Shrapnel Shot to build up power charges. And then I got my right mouse attack to actually do our damage. And that's a little bit of an awkward setup. It's not intentional. This is it's kind of an in-between state between, well, what we currently have and what I would want to be using. And that is, of course, to have power charge on crit associated with the Frenzy, but Frenzy is also doing curse on hit with 2 curses, so I need a 5 link to make that work. So until then, it's all a little bit awkward. And because we are pumping out so much damage, we didn't really have a strict need for power charges anyway. But of course, we're getting closer to maps, and once you're in maps, you'll be doing the boss fights a lot, and you just want to be able to most reliably hit your crits. And power charges really help you with that. So in this case, Creighton's gonna die. Let's see if we can build up some charges here just to go for it. Let's see, do some stip knighting. Not entirely a fan here of getting all that damage taken. So, maxed out charges here. Then we got Creighton over there. He's phasing. Okay, Diamond Flasks, and then we shoot. And he's just freeze locked here. And he is dead.
The king of rats. A feast for rats now.
That was Crichton. His story ends here.
What do you want?
And Mr. Grumpy Groost, well, I don't think his story ever ends. Well, last episode we killed Oak, now we killed Crichton, so next up is going to be to simply move forward to the western forest. Because we're just teleporting around this much this episode, not gonna go with any Legacystones for the first part of the episode. Later on, if we make it to the Vaal or Ruins, then that's gonna be a good opportunity to actually slot something. But for now, my primary priority is simply going to be to make it to Act 4, so we can do Dried Lake and then start running maps. Our chaos resistance is still the pitiful -60 that it has been for a while. And I don't think that's really going to change all that much until we either get lucky with a lucky gear find, but I'm not really going to focus on gear till, well, roughly till Dried Lake, because that's when we start finding the end game tier of gear, and then it's actually when it becomes worth it to invest some time and effort into crafting things. Now, if you get a lucky belt or a lucky ring or maybe a lucky helmet or something with some chaos res on it, not gonna complain about it, not gonna say no, I don't want you, but in terms of crafting for it, I think we can get away with it. Which, well, depending on whether I end in Act 4 Merciless or in Standard, we will know whether it was a good decision or not to do that. So at least we found some spider forest on the right hand side. So we'll get back to that one later. Over here we got the path, and for a change we're not gonna murder Alira. Infected den, sure, if we walk into it, then that's gonna be happy. If not, I'm gonna be happy as well. I'm just gonna be happy no matter what. So, it's a good philosophy for life, right? Always be happy. You are just a regular rare, nothing overly exciting or special about you. And then there is the hermits. Okay. Actually, rather than running forward, let's see. So we grabbed that one last time, just really reorienting myself. What the heck were we doing with this? So, no, we were going for that. So the next logical step is going to be to go for Golem's Blood. And simply to increase our life to the maximum based on just what the skill tree can do for us. And after that, it's all going to depend on gear.
The King of Rats.
And we want the power charge, so help Alira.
That was almost better.
And then we got the Apex Stone. Thank you for doing business, lady. I think this might be one of the very first times I actually sided with Alira. Then again, it's my first true crit build, so there's that. Okay, this might actually just take us past the den to the spider lair, but we still have to follow the road south because we have a skill point to grab. And there's the sooty lair. Hello. Okay, I don't think I want to be surrounded by those mobs anymore. So in this case, attackers are all melee based. Then Frostwall is actually useful. Okay, in that case, Frostwall was not quite well aligned with my attackers. There's that. But my first impression of Frostwall for now, it's not overwhelmingly positive. As I've been talking about for the last couple of times where I mentioned it, no, Frostwall was on probation, so to say. It was in its trial period. But it's not like I'm completely overwhelmingly positive about it, like, wow, this is really improving quality of life, or this is really giving me a much safer feeling compared to before. It's actually pretty well in line with a lot of things in Path of Exile, in that it is a trade-off. Yes, if it is properly aligned, then it's gonna prevent melee mobs from attacking you, it's gonna push melee mobs away from you, it will stop arrows of incoming attackers that are trying to shoot at you, all those good things. On the other hand, as you saw in that den down there, if the alignment of the Frostwall is just off, then it might actually be a hazard and a safety risk in that it potentially blocks your safe escape. Okay, counterpoint to that, of course, is that, well, you have a blink arrow. What am I complaining about? I can just blink away, right? Well, blink arrow does have a little bit of a cooldown. I mean, you shoot, and then it's one, and then you're there. It's not an instant teleport. There's a slight delay. On the other hand, if you want to rely on running away from something, mobs are fast, and you might not actually get the opportunity to run away anyway. Well, that guy was pretty much frozen in place. And let's not forget, touch the seal, get the skill point. Well, touch the seal, set yourself up to receive a skill point. We are not actually getting it yet, but because we have to walk back a little bit anyway, might as well empty your pockets, go back to Act 1. And
Travel far.
get ourselves a skill point. And then we'll just put it in the box. Like that. Talk to Vestal. And there we are. That one. So, next point is going to be strength. Strength is good. We can always do with more strength. Currently at 131. It's about 25 or so more points, then we will have enough to facilitate leveling all the red gems that we're using to level 20 if need be. Western Forest, yes. Oh. And then the Spider Forest is going to be over that way. Excellent. It's always nice when things are close together. So this is a 61 area. I think that's mostly on par with the previous one, isn't it? Some of the side areas are much higher, or are more levels above the adjacent areas than others, but this is just simply a +1, and it's actually not all that exciting. Hello, immortal spider. Goodbye, immortal spider. Hey, this was actually a lucky guess in terms of direction. Sometimes you make a good guess, sometimes you don't. Okay, let's go for lucky crits. Oh, sweet. We prevented the spider from actually retreating out. One of the nice things of freeze locking a boss, they can't enter into the next stage. That's something that we had in the previous Dresso fight as well.
Make it fast.
Because there we managed to freeze him sometimes. And we really did push his health levels down quite a bit. I think the first time. So because with Dresso it is that he at 75%, 50% and 25% he does his power-up pose. And at the end of the power-up pose his health is reset to 75, 50 or 25%. But I think I managed to freeze him a couple times and I pushed his health to about 30 or 40% at the first stage before he got unfrozen, and then he actually started doing his power-up pose and his health got reset to 75%. But I wonder, if you freeze lock him, can you kill him in a single go without him ever actually going in his power-up poses? That would be interesting. And what did we get? Destiny letter. Oh wow. Pretty good life roll. Double resist with pretty high end resist rolls. I mean, this is 78% resistances from just 2 suffixes. That's, well, actually, that's only slightly better than what I've got right now. Though, of course, no 6 sockets. And no evasion prefix and no evasion percentage rating. So yeah, nice, but it's still missing one of the other 2 prefixes which would have made this pretty awesome. Now it can get mediocre at best. That's unfortunate. Unless you think about exalting it or something, but yeah. Well, if it's almost an upgrade, but not quite, then, well, too bad. So, next up, Hello Wetlands. And yeah, we should have enough time to push through still. So, for fun and giggles, let's insert a Talisman, a Tempest, and Onslaught. And let's go Ruin Diving. Hello there, Talisman, you are a Break Rip. Pretty dead Break Rip at that. Okay. Ah yes. There's some haste effects going on with the Talisman. Brisk Tempest of Fire. This is a Vaal Grace. That's oh, we just get dodge. What's the percentage of that? It was gone before I knew how much. But okay, we dodge. That's okay. Increased quantity, magic monster pack, extra chest level, ignite me, and firestorm. Well, ignite is fixable. Some of these mobs here do chaos damage, so I would rather not get hit by that. And look, more spiders. That also can do chaos damage. And yeah, it's just gonna be Vaal Grace and fire. So far so good. What are you? Just armored, okay. Jungle Valley. So map drops seem to be getting slightly more common, which, well, of course does make sense since we are pretty well on our way to actually unlocking maps and being able to play them. Okay, maybe I should not be in your face. Like that. Ooh, there was some in the corner. There we are. Ooh, look, another diamond flask. Okay. And that's... definitely useful just to be able to freeze those big skeletal bear things. Because most of the large things, they do have a habit of being able to hit you pretty hard if you let them. But of course, if they're frozen, then they're pretty cool about it. Okay. So I'm a bit more quiet than I normally am. I do apologize for that. And I've got a good reason. And I've got a new headset. And the audio balance is different than with my old headset. And I did some test recordings, and from what I can understand, the volume that everything is recording at is exactly the same as it was before. So no, I just compared some old videos that I still had on my hard drive with just some test recordings, and the audio balance of the game and of my just me talking, they are the same. So this YouTube video, it should be still the same as all the other ones before it in terms of audio balance. So there's nothing weird with that. But normally, with my old headset, when I was playing, then the sound of the game was about... it was actually just as loud as it was when it's in the video. So it was about like 30 or so % of the sound of my voice. So that way, when I'm speaking, you actually hear me, and the game is just nice background. But with the new headset, the game sound is actually quite a bit louder. And I noticed so many details in the game sound. I never really realized just how good the game's sound is, because most of the time I don't hear it because it's in recording mode. And even when I'm playing by myself, I never really want to mess with the game's sound balance, because of course then I throw it off for YouTube. But from what I can tell, the balance in the video is still the same, but when I'm playing it, I'm actually hearing it as you at home would hear it when you're playing it by yourself. And man, it's really nice. Just consciously hearing those sound effects, like the sound that your skills make, or what's just really terrific is just the sound of ice shattering, of those corpses just shattering into ice. That's just really, really nice. And every once in a while, those sounds when currency drops. It's all just... I'm just enjoying the game, just in a completely different way, and it's really, really nice. That's for YouTube. Oftentimes, you try to get your balance right. So as a result, personal enjoyment of game audio is one of the first things that actually disappears. Which, well, it is unfortunate, but it's also just how it goes. But it is nice that I actually have things better now. Oh, Ghost, Tormented, Seditionist. I don't see anything for it to possess. So, yeah. Okay, so this couldn't have been a problem. My health was taking quite a dip. And a couple of those frost balls appeared, and it didn't really quite go right. So, let's actually make a decision. Frost ball is gone. It's... I definitely can imagine dying to it at some point. Probably sooner rather than later. So let's just avoid trouble there and just get completely rid of it.
This shouldn't be happening. Not in the world I know.
So the diamond flask is almost like a I want to freeze you now kind of button, which is pretty cool. It works rather well. But yeah, I really can't wait until I just get myself a 5-link. Then I think I'm actually just gonna put Frenzy in a 5-link even before Ice Shot gets a 5-link. Just because the utility value of being able to just apply 2 charges and 2 curses with the same attack, it's just too good. It's just gonna be a massive improvement in just quality of life. Okay, let's not tank those lovely little snakes. So we got some currency drops down here somewhere. Oh, we accidentally shoved a talisman bearer. Okay, there was something down there. Yep. Lots of emphasis on somewhere down there, because it was about a screen and a half away. And we get some essences of hatred. So. Okay. We just got everything going now. Rare must die. Rare has died. And there is the waypoint. You know what? Let's actually make this a extra long episode, and we're just gonna wrap up Act 2. That's stopping here. Yes, in terms of episode length, it would be a very nice episode length to stop at. But I think it's nicer to simply just wrap Act 2 up, and then we can continue with Act 3 next time. So let's see, a little bit of life, a little bit of resist, decent movement speed, but yeah, just not enough. And for this one, again, also not enough resists. Hey, let's just put everything in the box and we'll just move forward. Also, I think we're starting to drown a little bit in those. So yeah, we should have enough of those still to simply move forward. Hello. Haha, got you. Okay, let's actually just... Maybe I should not be surrounded by stuff while taking out the Devourer. Maybe I should just reposition myself a little bit. Much better. Let's see. Hey. It's a Fizz Reflector, which of course doesn't hurt us in any way, shape or form. And again, just a whole bunch of things. Yeah, exactly. So if you're walking beside something with a lot of water and stuff attached to it, and you're trying to blink arrow out, you can't blink arrow into the water, but it also won't position you. So the reason I extracted late from getting swamped like that, and why my health really did move that scary, is because I was trying to get out, but I just needed to move a little bit closer to the land side. So definitely something to consider when you're walking around. That walking along the watery edge is maybe not always the best of ideas. At least not if you want to be able to retreat from danger in any way. Right. But yeah, getting my health up to 4,500. I would really like to be able to do that. I think 3,500 is probably going to be the best thing I can manage in the relatively short term. And yeah, after that I'll just need to upgrade my gear in order to actually get more. Quickening Tempest of Poison. So poison is just the desecrated ground environmental effect. Or is it actually that everything is poisonous? No, Vaal Haste is the quickening bit. Hello there, shaggy monstrosity. So yeah, build without regen. Desecrated ground is painful, especially if you have negative 60% chaos resistance. Because of course it will hurt 60% more compared to having 0 resists. Compared to having maxed out chaos resist, it's let's see, normally you would take 25%, now you're taking 160%. So it's 6.5 times more damage than a fully maxed out resistance character. Which is to say, it definitely hurts a lot more. Oh, yeah. Hello there, Kuru. Okay, I could get used to this, to just completely freeze-locking any uniques we encounter. So far, so good. Yeah, it's funny. We do crit on the bear, but of course, because it has a proxy bubble around it, we can't actually hurt it. So if we are... okay, so I don't like proxy bubbles, especially not with bears or things like that. But if we get in and we manage to freeze it, then it's relatively harmless. Plus, of course, you knock the bear far enough away that you actually get yourself outside of the bubble, and then suddenly the bear unfreezes and hits you in the face, and it hurts, and you're not going to be happy about it. Okay, so final waypoint. Let's empty your pockets. Let's just do it quickly this time. Take the Frostwall out, and then we're going to move forward into the final part and take ourselves out a Vaal Oversoul. Chronovage. Well, that one won't be eating any more time from now on. So one of the things that might also be worth to consider is if our damage is going to be more than sufficient to kill things, if it's going to be more than sufficient to freeze things, it might actually be worth considering whether we even want to use Hatred Aura at all. Because it reserves 50% of our energy right now, or of our mana. But if we drop Hatred, we could replace it with, for example, Grace, which will give us quite a bit of evasion in return. And of course, the more you stack your evasion, the lower the chance of actually getting hit by things becomes. And especially if we then also combine it with... get out of my face. If we then also combine that with Dodge later on. then we have a pretty good recipe for avoiding damage. Because as my health bar indicates, I'm not really all that great at actually taking damage. I mean, we don't really have a large buffer. Well, there's things, of course, that we keep the Stibnite Flask up if I'm gonna be slightly better about that. And of course, monsters have a lower chance of actually hitting me. If they've got a lower chance of hitting me, then I don't need to use my health as a buffer that much either. So, no, it does go both ways. But I think that Rangers definitely are more skill intensive than some of the other classes. And with skill intensive in this case, I think I mean player skill. Because there's less margin for error, you simply need to play better, because otherwise you're just gonna die faster. So it's gonna be a good opportunity for me to either level up or get banished to standard. On the other hand, no, there is a great damage potential here as well. So it might actually all just be part of the balance. No, get damage, sacrifice life. So the end result is that, well, kill them before they kill you. Ooh. That was rather nice. This is more the way to go. Let's not stand in the rain of ice. That's really bad for my health. And it's gonna be a useful exercise anyway to just try and see that anytime I'm in a fight, if I can just get that Stibnite Flask up and keep it up. As long as there's monsters on the screen. Because we do gain more damage thanks to the blah 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 of the Primordial. The elemental wheel in the bottom right, that also gives us a reduction to the amount of reflect damage that we take. So keeping our Stibnite up is going to be good. It's a defensive bonus, but it's also a offensive bonus. Hello there, Chaos Orb. How are you today? And there we are. Pyramid Apex. Oh. So additional challenge here is going to be to not get frozen by the tempests. Okay. Okay. Of course, this is a tricky boss because, well, he moves or... Okay. Okay, at least we got him cursed now. I kind of partially forgot about that before. Right. Freezing this dude is difficult. That's mostly to do with the movement that he's got. and it's difficult to stand still, but there's definitely some work that we have left to do before we want to freeze act bosses like this.
Spread the word amongst your kind, Nightmare. You're not welcome in my world.
Though, interestingly, on Merciless, act bosses seem to have 45% elemental damage resistance rather than the 30% that map bosses have, if PoE is accurate in that regard. So it's actually easier to kill a map boss than an actual act boss. Hello there. But with that, we did arrive in Act 3. So there's going to be the last little walk to Sarn. And then we're going to call it an episode. But this means we are getting very, very, very close to maps. I mean, oftentimes it's one episode to get through the sewers, then another one to get through Solaris Temple, and if things go well, another episode to defeat Piety and Dominus. And after that we are basically in maps already. Oh, that was a lot more lovely than before. At least that guy really got freeze locked properly, without putting in too much effort. Hello there, really, really hasty one. Let's actually try to keep that Stibnite Flask up, because I said I would, and then, of course, 2 areas later, I've already forgotten about it. Mostly. Seething Tempest, I added fire damage. Sure, fine, whatever. We made it to town, so Act 2 has been defeated. Act 3, here we come. And with that, I'm gonna thank you very much for watching, as always, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.